Get ready, America, because you're about to see the best of the Cocklebur Morning Show, Sweet Swine County's #1 morning talk show. Our Story Productions presents the Cocklebur Morning Show, where we weed out the big stories from throughout Sweet Swine County with Bobby Ray and Sally Sue.
Thank you. Here we are with another great show and some more great reports from outside of Sweet Swine County.
I am so excited about it, Sally Sue.
So, Bobby Ray, tell us about your weekend.
I sense an air of sarcasm there, but that's okay. That's okay.
No.
Well, I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, get ready, because once again, it's time for
Bobby Ray's Weekend Adventures.
You know, Sally Sue, this weekend I visited courthouses. I visited some places that have some of the most magnificent architecture you've ever seen.
Really?
I don't know if I told you this, but one of my passions is courthouses.
Another passion.
Oh yeah, I have many passions.
I'm learning that.
I'm a passionate person about many things.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I got on the computer, found out where some of these courthouses were.
Good.
Got in my car. I do a lot of research. Got in my car and drove around southern Minnesota and checked out some of these courthouses. Yes.
Okay.
And here's what I found. I took some notes. Okay.
Good. Where'd you go?
All right. I went to the Faribault County Courthouse in Blue Earth. Faribault County, Minnesota is listed on the National Register of Historic Places.
Really?
The building was completed in December 1892 at a cost of, are you ready for this?
Okay.
$70,000.
$70,000?
You can't even buy a good vehicle for that price anymore.
No, you can't. Amazing.
Of course, there's the famous Martin County Courthouse.
Oh, yes.
That's located in Fairmont, Martin County, Minnesota, obviously. It features a high copper dome with 4 clock faces. It's and it's beautiful,
pretty.
and it's beautiful inside. The building was designed by Charles E. Bell and built by J.B. Nelson in 1907. So that was a little bit further ahead than the one in Faribault for a cost of $125,000. Unbelievable prices, okay?
Wow.
Of course, today that would be a lot of money.
Yes.
And the final one I went to was the Cottonwood County Courthouse. That's located in Windham, Minnesota. It was built in 1903 at a cost of nearly $60,000.
Oh, so that was the
lesser of the three, yes.
Oh.
The building is crowned with an octagonal drum, which supports a segmented dome 2 stories above the level of the roof.
Wow.
Pretty unbelievable architecture for that time.
Wow.
A figure of justice stands on top.
Oh, how impressive.
Very much.
Wow.
Shallow segmented domes painted silver top the 4 large corner pavilions.
Oh,
it's just magnificent. And it was the lowest price of all of them. They got good bidders back then.
I would think so, yes.
So there you have it, Sally Sue. I'm telling you, I'm going to be visiting more courthouses in southern Minnesota, as well as other points of interest in and around southern Minnesota, and featuring them on
Bobby Ray's Weekend Adventures.
Sally Sue. I'm telling you, it is a big world. And you know, most of it happens outside of Sweet Swine County.
I know.
Much as we hate to admit it, there's a lot going on out.
Perhaps you're right, Bobby Ray. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to bring out our guest. As you know, we here on the Cocklebur Morning Show love to share with you interesting people and places.
Yes.
And today we truly have an interesting person
We do.
who has an interesting hobby. Join me in welcoming Bart Saxton. So Bart, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm from Fairmont here originally. Went away for a while, but I'm back again. I live out by Northrop, and I'm a computer support specialist.
Very good. Do you work out of your home, or do you in the area? Or?
Work for Modern Office Systems.
I'll be darned. Well, that sounds great, Bart, but what do you do for fun?
I like to do medieval reenactments.
I wondered if that might have something to do with what you were wearing.
Really?
Okay.
So I have a very modern job during the week, and on the weekends I drift off to the 13th century.
Where would we see your production, or where would you have this on display?
We don't really do it as a spectator activity.
Okay.
This is, it's more fun if you actually do it than if you just stand and watch.
I see, okay.
One of the few requirements the organization has is that you make an attempt at pre-17th century clothing. to participate.
Oh, okay. So, and this
would be an attempt.
Just listen.
Now,
that's really heavy.
did you make that, or did?
Fortunately, no, I bought the chainmail shirt.
And there are companies that produce this?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And a lot of people within the organization produce it as well.
There are times when I've been with Sally Sue that I kind of wish I'd have had that. I'm sorry, it was just a little joke.
Would protect you from the slings and arrows of adversity.
Absolutely. Very well. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Are you going to get one, honey?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking about
The
it.
logo that's on your shirt, is that significant symbol for you? Or?
That's my coat of arms within the
Your coat of
organization.
arms.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Properly blazoned, it's argent, which is the heraldic term
Oh,
for
yes.
white.
Okay.
A sheep,
Oh, okay.
rampant, the sinister sable, or in other words, a black rampant sheep within a red border ghoul.
Oh,
What they
okay.
call ghouls.
Ooh,
okay.
okay.
Argent, a sheep, rampant, a sinister, ghouls.
So when you travel off to the 13th century, do you have others travel with you? Or are you out there by yourself? I'm just a little curious.
Nope. There's events just about every weekend
Really?
that I go to. I don't get to all of them, obviously. It's the group's called the Society for Creative Anachronisms.
Ooh.
It's an international organization. I believe last I heard there was around 40,000 paid members. In August every year in Pennsylvania, there's an event they would call the Penzic War, which has, I think last I heard, 14,000 people showed up for it.
Now, when you go to one of these events, do you have encampments or, I don't know if you would say tents or, that type of thing?
Yeah, what did they
villages
live
that
in
you sit up?
the 13th
Or
century?
do you
Yes,
go
we
to
do.
the Holiday Inn?
Yes, we do. All of the above.
All the above.
Depending on what the event is. Obviously, in the winter, camping events aren't terribly popular.
I wouldn't think so, especially in a metal suit.
Especially in a metal suit. So, Holiday Inn would be an excellent choice in the winter. But in the summer, like the Penzic War, that's about a full week, 10-day camping trip.
Really?
Lots of weekend events in the summer where you camp out over the weekend.
Tell us what takes place.
I like to call it the good parts of the Middle Ages. We do all the fun
Okay.
things from Middle Ages and try to skip over the bad parts.
Okay.
Nobody recreates the plague.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Skip over that.
That's a great idea.
And the battle reenactments we have are what you would call chivalrous combat.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
We're not out, it's not all an out war.
right.
And we have very stringent safety requirements on the equipment, the armor, the behavior to make sure it's as safe as possible. But we get out in armor with shields, and instead of swords, we use sticks because they invented lawyers since the Middle Ages.
Oh, probably not one of the greatest inventions, but I understand.
Unlike fencing, the contact has to be a solid blow. It can't just be a touch.
Okay.
So you have to have pretty good armor. But we also do tournaments, feasts, balls.
Really?
A wide range of the arts and crafts of the Middle Ages are recreated.
Do you want individuals to come and visualize or see what's going on or visit these programs?
Personally, I think everyone should come out and play
Okay.
with us.
All right.
That's good. Yeah.
Especially
So
if
where do you find more information on this then?
the easiest way is the web.
Okay.
It's kind of bad to mention the web when you're dressed like you're from the 13th century. The base website to start with would be www.sca.org.
Okay.
That would be the overall organization, the Society for Creative Anachronism.
Now, you must have other clothing that you wear at these events. Would you share some of your clothing with us?
Sure, I'd love to.
Okay.
Here is a rather wild outfit that I had made. It's based on a German 15th century moneyers guard.
Really?
These are the people that actually minted the money throughout the Middle Ages.
Ooh.
The moneyers in Germany were confined to the mint to make sure they didn't run off and steal anything,
Much like bankers today.
Good idea.
except it actually worked.
Yeah.
So when they were out running around, they had to wear this lovely loud clothing, both loud visually, and there's 10 sleigh bells on this outfit to make sure you could hear them coming, so that they couldn't sneak off with a bar of silver. And while they're out doing errands, they're under the protection of the crown, so you wouldn't accidentally hurt them.
Bart, thank you again for coming, and thank all of our citizens for their
Absolutely.
great, fantastic reports.
Yes.
So at this time, we say, see you next time on the Cocklebur Morning Show.
Bye-bye for now.